Hi, Alan. Right.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, how are you today?
Oh, I'm okay.
Good. So we've got. So basically, we're going to go and do a retrofit assessment at
Yep.
one of the properties. We've had a phone call in from a lovely guy, John and Poppy, Madan, and their address is Southampton Street,
Yep.
and it's in Hanover. So I can give you all the details,
Yeah,
but I think
that's
probably what
good.
we'll first do is show you locally on Google Maps where it is and what it looks
great,
like from the
yep.
outside. So, slap bang in the middle of Hanover, well, it's sort of at the top of the hill
Yep.
over here. And if I get our little street view, man, we go straight over, have a quick look, and it is, I believe, that property right there, number 21.
Right, okay.
So that's what you can expect when you arrive. As you can see, there's already like a subterranean level. So
Yeah.
I know, knowing the area pretty well, I know this is definitely on the hill.
Yeah.
That's on the lower side of the hill as well. So there might even be another floor beneath that one. I know
Right.
some of these are actually 4-story at the back.
Agree.
But
Yeah.
you can't really tell. I mean, we might be able to see in the Google Maps a bit more, I suppose. But they've got some pretty good ideas about what they'd like to do.
Okay,
They want to go ahead and see if they can. I mean, they've got an EPC, so they're moving
Right.
in. They've bought the property recently.
Yep.
I believe you can find the EPC. In fact, I did search for it earlier on and
great.
have it here. So there you go. So that's on the government website.
So it's a D.
It's a D rating at the moment. Mid terrace house, 110 square meters. The SAPS,
Nice.
or it's RD
Yeah.
SAP, says it could possibly be a C rating.
Right,
I think
okay.
if some of the things that they're talking about they'd quite like to do are done, we could probably improve on that.
Yeah, well, let's see. If you scroll down a bit more, it should tell us what's there now. Yes.
Yep. So we've got
solid brick.
solid brick. Well, I imagine, again, knowing that area pretty well, having done quite a few jobs around there,
Yeah.
it's likely to be a sort of local material called Bungarush, which is very
Alright.
Brighton based. It's sort of made out of the old bits of the old river
Yeah,
basin.
I may not be able to see that if it's plastered.
It's quite possible you won't be able to see
So-
it, but you might be able to ask if there's anyone there, if they've ever tried putting pictures up, or ever getting a fixing into the wall. They may
Right.
have had problems.
Okay.
You can ask them.
Yep.
If it's
Yep.
quite often that people will have moved into properties and they'll have been warned about particular quirks like that.
Right,
So
okay.
have a conversation
So,
with the client
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
No, good idea.
I would guess it's like that.
Yeah.
90% of those houses are, right?
Yeah. Yeah, obviously pitched roof.
Pitch roof, again, no information other than that.
So that looks like no access to the loft if it's assumed no insulation.
It does.
So I might not be, again, I'm going to do a non-invasive survey, so I
Absolutely.
may not, if there's
You
no
may not be able
hatch,
to get
I
up
may not be
there.
able to confirm what's there.
So the other things there we've got are double glazed windows throughout. I mean, again, they may be of a certain age. They may be blown, some of them. They're
Yeah,
on
I'll make
mains
a note of
gas.
that. Yep.
I assume that you'll be able to see that reasonably straightforwardly.
Yep. Yeah,
the-
I'll look for the meter and see where that comes through the wall in case there's going to be issues with that. If you're looking at, presumably you're
Absolutely.
looking at external wall insulation, maybe.
That's what they were talking about on the phone. Yes,
Yeah.
so they're quite keen. They've been reading up a lot of stuff, but they'd really like to get an idea from a professional about what is doable.
Yeah, sure.
So they've also got low energy lighting. Apparently,
Yeah.
there's normal radiator heating.
This
So
looks odd. Hot water from immersion
yeah,
when there's a boiler. That's unusual.
it does seem unusual, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I'll check on that. That's interesting. So that maybe there's an unheated basement
possibly.
again. I'll have
Possibly
a-
again.
Yeah,
I think once you get there, a lot of those properties are deceptive. So you can't always tell from the initial view on the Google Maps.
Yeah.
Although Google Maps is amazing and it's super helpful, but you're not always certain.
Okay, no problem.
So they're talking about potentially external wall insulation
Yep.
that's been highlighted on the previous EPC.
Yep.
Right? They're definitely talking about insulating the roof.
Yep.
they're excited about potentially having solar PV.
Oh, okay.
They want to
Did we-
discuss
Yep.
some of the options about air source heat pumps, which are obviously all in the news at the moment. Everyone's talking about them.
Yes, might be a problem with space for that there.
Might be quite hard.
But again,
but
I'll
have a chat with them about what's available and
I'll
what
have a
they've
look
got
and see
already.
what they're doing.
They, this is suggesting at the moment that solar hot water heating and solar PV would be reasonably possible, and actually that would just make quite a difference to the house on its own.
Yes.
So if
Yeah.
any of these other things are
Yeah.
possible,
Can check there's no obstructions to the roof and no shading and so on.
yeah,
And also check the orientation of the roof.
yeah.
'Cause,
If you have a little look as
yeah.
well about access, because there's also
that's a
things.
point.
Yes.
Yeah,
So in
particularly
that
the back.
area,
Yeah.
how do you get everything to the back of the building?
If the back slope of the roof is south,
Yes.
how are you going to get up there to put the PV on?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is that going to be a big deal?
Yeah.
And I guess there will also be the aspects of we've checked it's not in a conservation area.
Okay, good.
It's not, as far as I'm aware, listed. It certainly isn't listed anywhere
Yeah.
on the council website as a listed building. Perhaps good idea to ask the clients if there's anything they know about an Article 14 on the
Okay,
property,
yep.
because there are parts of that part of town that have specific
So that'd
planning
be
requirements,
Covenants or something.
covenants that
yeah.
have been set in the past that you have to meet.
Yep.
The easiest way to find out, I mean, they are listed on the council website. It sometimes takes a bit of digging.
Right. Well, I
But
could maybe
the-
have a look at that before I go. But yeah.
The easiest thing to do is to ask the
Yep.
customer.
Yep.
They probably found out in the search with the solicitors in the process,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And yeah, and effectively we need a good in-depth report about what is available, what's the opportunity to do it.
Yep.
So, for instance, they've outlined external wall insulation as a possibility here. So maybe how that would affect the neighbours.
Yeah.
how
It looked
close
like
to
it
the
was
neighbours.
right on the street, the front wall.
It does appear to be right on the
So-
street there. So there may be some issues about how we finish that.
Yeah.
Whether there'd be any conversations
Yeah.
that would need to be had with the
Yeah,
highways agency.
I'll have a look at the neighbouring properties. In case any of the others have been done.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if one's been done,
It
that
might
might
set a
be
precedent.
that
Absolutely.
would give us an idea that this
Absolutely.
one could be done as well.
I think there might be one in that area as well, but you have a check.
Yep.
I mean, there's some detailing here
Well,
on
yeah, that's quite-
this building,
Roof's going to be awkward.
which, but you
Yep.
know, we do have at least a soffit with
Yep.
so it does provide space to do these things. So there's a bit of detailing that will be needed, I imagine.
Well, yes, there's going to be the steps as well are going to be challenging, aren't they, to insulate
Yes.
around?
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, I'll take detailed measurements of all those details.
Excellent.
And yeah, anything else that I come across. Yeah, a bit of a stagger on the terrace as well.
Absolutely. So and it's
So-
also, then how, if we were to put EWI, I mean, obviously, if you were to go down that road, I
Yeah.
suspect they'd need to get a proper set of drawings done, and we'd
Yeah.
probably need to make an application. If it needs planning permission, if we're going to change the front elevation, the look
Yeah.
of the front elevation, it's most likely it'll need planning. But I do know in that area that there was some work done several years ago with the council that maybe we could get this done under permitted development.
Right.
But that probably needs a bit more investigation as well.
Okay. So do you want me to look into that, or will you do that?
If you don't mind, if you could, that'd be
yeah,
great.
well, I'll see what I can find. Yep. No problem.
And I think that probably covers it.
Yeah.
Have you got any other questions?
I don't think so. Not at this stage. I'll go see what I can find, and I'll put together a report for you that will provide you with the details you need, some sketch plans,
That'd be great.
and measurements of all the windows. I'll photograph everything.
Be really helpful.
And let me think, is there anything else I should... the other thing, of course, is do a SAP assessment
Yeah.
so that we can see if that
if the RD sap's got close enough, or it's wildly
well, yes,
inaccurate.
there may be some things that are assumed, and yes, I'm a little bit suspicious about that hot water immersion, for example.
Right.
I mean, not that it'll probably affect a great deal what you're going to do in terms of insulating the property.
Yeah.
But we may as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the more information you can, certainly at this stage, I imagine whatever happens, that one of the first questions will be from the client will be, well, how much is this all going to cost me?
Well, that's right. So you need to be able to cost it from the information.
Absolutely. So the more information you can gather, the better.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Terrific.
Okay. Thanks, Alex.
Cheers, Alan. Enjoy.